Right, this is part 2 of the Future King design process. If you didn't see the first one, I'll put a link above. Watch that first, then come back to this one. In this video, you're going to see me moving on from design process into actual making the piece. But first, I'm going to drive to my dad's because it's his birthday, wish him happy birthday, then drive back to the workshop and get moving on this ring. Hi Dad, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, boy.
Tommy's got your present now.
Happy birthday, Tom.
Dad, you're good. Why did you say happy birthday to us?
Did I?
Yeah, he keeps saying happy birthday. Here you go. I think you're going to really like this.
Let's have a look what it is, eh?
The cool thing was to get you back.
Oh, brilliant. Lovely. What is it? It's a drone. I thought it looked like an aerial, an indoor aerial or something.
No, let me show you what I can do. Yeah, come, let's show you, yeah?
Let's have a look. Let's have a look.
We've got to go outside.
I really like it though.
What a fantastic morning. That was so much fun flying that drone. I think he really liked it. Once he understood what it was, he actually really quite enjoyed playing with it, didn't he? I think he played with it quite a lot. He didn't have a clue what it was, but he loves it. You can't get old enough. Boys love toys, and I think he's always going to love it.
It's a bit of a stupid present, but I don't want to say nothing to them, but I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm never going to probably do it again. I won't even know how to do it myself anyway.
Fun time's over and we've got to get to work now and start making some bits. What are you making today? Today we're making the camouflage ring, so we want to get in there and get it done. That's going to look amazing. Let's go. Just on my way now to do some wedding bands for a customer. I'm not sure where their house is, but it's somewhere around here. And they've got quite a big wedding coming on soon.
Yeah, you wished.
I've been in your waters.
So we've got the camouflage pattern all picked out. I've made a basic ring with nothing on it. We don't drill no stones yet. We've got some amazing stones. We've got some black diamonds. We've got some brand sapphires. We've got emeralds. And what we're going to do now, we're going to drill the ring, start getting some stones in, and start getting a flavour of trying to get this commando pattern over this shape, and we see how it goes. So what we're doing now, I'm just going to mark out a few black lines of where I want to set stones, but I want it quite organic, so I don't want to go too crazy on thinking about it. I just actually want to try and just get some stones in and try and get that camouflage, organic flow. So first I'm just going to go in with a ball phrase and just start putting a few stones where I think they're going to go. So I just opened it up with a drill and it's going to go back in there with all different size ball phrases, working it up to these about 1.7 mil. So I'm going to open the first hole to that sort of size. So you start with a small ball phrase, put a little mark, then you put the pilot drill, and then you open it up to the size you need. But I usually dip in a little bit of oil just to make sure it's all nice, and just open it up so you get the size you want. So what I'm doing now, just checking the pilot hole I've made just to make sure I've got the right size with the stone. That seems about perfect. So then I'm going to go in there with my dividers and sort of just gently mark out a few stones where I could actually put them. I used the microscope because what you can see under here just is unbelievable. The zoom on it is so fantastic. You can literally see the smallest detail which you can't really see with the naked eye. I mean, if you can get it perfect under the microscope, when you look under the naked eye, it just looks fantastic and you can't really see where it's been done. It just looks so great. I'm going to go in now with this air tool. So you can hear a little bit of noise. We've got the compressor going, we've got all this going, and this cuts a really sharp border so we can raise some beautiful grains up to hold the stones. So now we've got a nice sharp edge to work off and go in there with a parallel phrase and cut some grains. So what I'm going to do now, try and test and put a few stones in to see how everything's sitting and all the grains are there. So just laying out all the emeralds now, gently pushing them in to see if all the grains are in the right position, but everything looks great. So we get these in, then we start thinking, right, where can we put some black diamonds? But I think it's going to look a really cool ring in the end. This process is going to take me a couple of days, so you don't want to sit and watch it all. Gradually going around, I'm going to start drilling in and start putting all different stones in and try and get the nice pattern. But like I said, it's going to take 2 days. So in the next video, the ring should be further along, and hopefully we'll try and get it completed then.
I bought this book yesterday. I've only read one chapter of it so far. It's called Outliers. I found it really interesting. If you want to have a look or want to read it, I'll leave a link in the description below and check it out. What it's pretty much saying is, if you're born between September and November, you're more likely to be a professional football player than, say, for instance, if you was born in August, less likely. In football, kids level now, the seasons or the cut-off for ages start in September. What he's saying is, if you're born in September and if you're born in August, you can be playing at the same level. Actually, one minute, I'll go and get some bits of... yeah, this should help me demonstrate a little bit more. So, say we've got all these rings, these mask rings, but they represent kids at the age under 5s. So, over here you've got, let's call him Johnny. So you've got Johnny over here, he's born in September. These are all the little Johnnies, they're grown big, they're strong, they're mentally, they're a year older. Then, say these kids, we call this one Derek or Little Del. Little Del was born in August. He's obviously trying to play with the other kids, but they're just too strong, too bigger. So when the scouts come along, they're looking at these kids and they're seeing who's potentially got the potential to go forward and progress. Naturally, they're going to look at the Johnnies of the football team and think, wow, he's looking strong. He's outrunning Little Del here. He's tackling him. He's mentally. So what they do, they put Johnny and a couple other Johnnies, and maybe one Little Del gets through. Do you know what I mean? But the bulk of them are going to be all the Johnnies, the older Johnnies. Don't sound right, does it? But you know what I mean. So the Little Dels up here have been stuck behind. Now the Johnnies of the football team, now they're getting like better coaching. So the coach is better. They're getting an extra practice per week because there's more money pushed into the bigger kids because they're showing potential. These could be future stars. The following year, they go through, they look at them and still, say, under 6, the ones that are older are still stronger. They're growing stronger, they're mentally still stronger. By the time you get to that stage where mentally that kids grow at different heights and everything, so I suppose, say, by the time they get to 10, that the Little Del that was 4 at the time and the Johnny that was 5 at the time, now Little Del might be bigger because there's been 5 or 6 years of training and Johnny's received better training. He's played against better players. He's practiced probably 3 times more than what Little Del's practiced. By the time he's got there, he's put so many more hours into this football skill. He's naturally, by now, he's so superior in football that he's now more potentially of going through and being a professional footballer. It goes to show that it's a lot to do with luck a lot of the time. It's not just about your abilities. It's not to say you can't do it, because in this book it talks about Canadian hockey. January they start, so between January and March, 40% professional hockey players are born between January and March. April to May and June, 30%. But in December, there's only 10% of hockey players that are professional who were born in December, just 10% compared to 40% in probably January.
Tom, what are you on about? I haven't got a clue what you're talking about. Let me funny, it looks like a bookshop over here, not like a jewellery workshop.
Don't listen to him. He's upset because he was born off season.